welcome to another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts. My username on social media is Cappuccino136, and that's my username on Ravelry, Instagram, and Goodreads. So that's where you can find me on social media, as well as here on this little YouTube channel. So thank you for watching this video and choosing to spend a little of your time with me. That means a lot, and I really appreciate it. So this is where I talk about knitting and sometimes crochet. Those are my crafts. And I also talk about books and reading and TV and movies and things I'm watching and other chatty things that just capture my interest. So please grab a beverage of your choice, anything you want, and sit down and get out your yarn, your needles, your hook, or maybe fiber and your spinning wheel. Settle in and let's have a crafty chat together. So wonderful. This is Monday, September 30th, 2019, the very last day of September, and it really feels like fall here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. And this is where I live, in the Pacific Northwest, in a house with my parents who I take care of. And we also have a sweet fluffy black cat named Stella who brings us so many smiles. And yeah. Okay, and before we get into the crafty content and other things, there is an elephant in the room that I want to acknowledge and talk just a little bit about. And that is, there have been a lot of big things in our crafting community this last week, especially the last 3-4 days, that have happened and caused a lot of hurt and problems and pain to our community, especially to the marginalized people in our community, the BIPOC and the LGBTQ plus, and all those people that we've been needing to hopefully bring in closer instead of dismissing and excluding. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and still a lot of problematic behavior, and people just, it's not easy, and these are big changes, and I realize it doesn't happen fast, but anyway, at least 3 really big things happened, and I'm not going to give details or say all of what they are, because it's just a lot to talk about, and it would be a whole video of its own. And also, I hope that these are, if you are really connected and participating a lot in our online community, I hope that you're already paying attention to these things, and that I don't need to repeat it all for you. So yeah, that too. One thing that I have heard in little videos or seen posts about, that I do find hopeful, is some people are starting to talk about maybe together as a community, if we could find or agree upon a process for if somebody is really sincerely and properly apologized and sincerely doing work to make amends and doing work to learn and change their biases and their own internalized prejudices, that we could kind of a reconciliation or a healing process to bring them back into good standing and goodwill in the community, to help them heal and recognize the work that they are doing, and also to help our wider community heal together and start to build bonds stronger together again, which I think is wonderful. I don't know if we could, our community, we're spread out over YouTube and Instagram and Ravelry and also local communities, and so I don't know that we could ever really come together and agree on a process, like one process with certain steps. I don't think that's realistic exactly, but if we could agree somehow on what is required to have reconciliation and what that would mean and what that would look like in general, and maybe some ways that we could. Now, I'm not talking about people who are digging in and doubling down and refusing to be accountable, refusing to change, refusing to listen, and people who are dismissing and silencing and shutting down anybody who tries to bring up their problematic statements or problematic behavior. I'm not talking about that. That's not viable for reconciling with that person. But in the, so yeah, just to make that clear, there is a big difference. But yeah, I hope that we can, I don't know, begin to see some of that happen when people are sincerely doing some work and making some changes within themselves. Anyway, that's all. That's all I can say about that, really. Yeah. So, crafts. Let's have some knitting, shall we? Yay! First, I want to show you a finished pair of Mercury socks. Aren't they lovely? I really like them, and I've tried them on, and they fit great, and they feel great, and yay. And this is the weather where I'm starting to need my socks again, and I'm wearing a pair right now, a pair of hand knit wool socks, and they're keeping my feet so cozy. And it's also getting to be hat weather, and look at this. Look at this beautiful is it Everglade? I know, I'll put it in the show notes underneath the video, but I do believe it's Everglade. And look at that crown. Isn't that a beautiful crown? Let's see if I can get it, hold it nicely for you. Yeah. Look at that beautiful crown. Love it so much. And I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to come back and show you, because I love how this looks on me. I love it. I'm going to wear this hat so much. So back in a second. Well, okay, here we are. Now from the straight front, it's not as cute. It's cutest from the side. And here, I'll show you, I'll let you look at the back. And the side. And yeah, I love this hat. Thank you, Woolly Wormhead. And I was nervous as I started the crown decreases because I really didn't think I had enough yarn. It was Yarn Chicken. It was, I haven't played Yarn Chicken. I haven't had that situation in a while. I don't remember the last time, but whew, it was, I don't know. I really thought I was gonna be out of yarn, but there was exactly this much yarn left. Not much at all. Not much at all. And I even did the decreases a little bit faster. I fudged that chart a little bit and made some adjustments to do the decreases just slightly faster so that I could close the hat up with the yarn that I had. And it worked. It worked well. And whew, I won Yarn Chicken. Yeah! I won Yarn Chicken. I won the Yarn Chicken. I won the Yarn Chicken. Okay, that's my celebration dance, and that's really how I felt when I finished this hat. And I took a photo and I posted on Instagram, who won Yarn Chicken? me. It was me. I did that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so, whew, it was such a relief. Such a relief. But I love my 2 finishes. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. So, yeah. How do you feel really excited when you finish something? Sometimes I get so excited. And this is the project that you have been seeing for a long time. If you have been watching earlier videos. If this is your first time, then this is the first time you've seen it. But this is the current state of my boxy sweater by Joji Locatelli. I am very close to finishing the front. I'm very close to finishing the front, and then I'll do the back, and then I'll close it up and do the sleeves. Close it up at the shoulders and do the sleeves. So, yeah. All the details for that, the pattern name and the yarn and stuff is going to be in the information box below. That's where I put my show notes. If you're new. But yeah, that's been a really long time project, but it is coming to the end stages, and here is something new, something that has not been on any video yet. And these are the twin leaf mitts. And dum, 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 dum. I really like them. That's the back. There's no patterning on the, well, actually this is the back. This is the back of the hand. This is the palm side. So there's, on the palm side, there's no texture, no pattern. This yarn is Millpost Merino 4-ply in the colorway green. And I do have a project page already put up so that you can find all the details on Ravelry if you like. But yeah, Millpost Merino 4-ply, and I am using size US 1.5, which is, oh, I'm not sure in millimeters what that is. But it's US 1.5. Sorry, I don't remember the millimeters. Let's see if I can read it from, see if I, 2.5 millimeters. So US 1.5 is 2.5 millimeters. So it's just a little bit of a larger needle than I use for my socks. But this is also a slightly plump and squishy fingering. So the fabric's still pretty dense, almost sock dense, I'd say. But I'm not mad at that because it'll mean they're going to be really warm mitts. And that's what you want. I mean, you want them to be cute, but you want them to be warm too. Otherwise, what's the point? This is a free pattern available for download as a PDF from Ravelry. And the name of the designer and all that, that'll be in the show notes. I can't remember her name right now. And her name is a difficult one for me to pronounce, so I'm sorry about that. But look at that pretty leaf. And it's really almost the same. It's very similar to this leaf, except, well, anyway, very similar to the leaf design on the hat. But I was really enjoying the leaves on the hat, so I'm happy to keep doing similar leaves, but just a little bit different. Enough different that it doesn't feel like it's boring. Anyway, so that is that. And tomorrow is October 1st. Tomorrow is the beginning of Victober in BookTube land. And Victober is for the month of October reading Victorian literature. So Mel of Mel's Bookland Adventures, that's her YouTube channel, and a few other YouTubers a few other BookTubers that knit are hosting a knit and listen along for Victober. And the Victorian novel we will be listening to is Adam Bede by George Eliot. I downloaded yesterday evening. I listened to some samples there's a lot of copies on Audible. I listened to some samples and chose my narrator and downloaded Adam Bede. So I'm ready to listen, and I've got my yarn. This is Indie String, which is 100% Falkland Merino. And the colorway is Black Cherry. And I love it. It's so gorgeous. And isn't that beautiful for fall and winter? I think it's so beautiful. It's got purple and black and red and deep burgundy red. And it's really beautiful. So I do want to say that I'm not 100% sure anymore which sweater pattern I am casting on. And part of that is because of the of what I talked about in the beginning. The designer of the original pattern that I had in that I had chosen, her wife is one of the people that did something. Yeah, her wife hurt some people and did by her. Anyway, it's complicated. I did look into this some. I dug into some of the posts, but yeah. And then she also got involved a little bit in the situation because it was her wife. So I don't know how I feel about doing her pattern and talking about her pattern and saying her name in the videos, because not that I have a large number of viewers. I know that there are not many viewers, but I want any viewer who happens on this and people who may have been affected by what she did, I don't want to bring pain to them by talking about her and using her name and just adding promotion to her. Not that my channel is not really a channel that is a big promotion for anyone, but I think maybe you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I just don't, I thought about maybe just knitting that pattern and not showing the project anymore in any more videos and just having it be a project for me, which is fine. But then I thought, but this is a project specifically for the knit and listen along, and part of the knit and listen along is participating. So how can I participate in the knit and listen along and not talk about that project? So I have another pattern that I might do. But I'm just going to take another day or two to make a final decision how I'm going to deal with it. Yeah. Excuse me. I need a sip of water. My throat. It's dry. Anyway, so that's the full disclosure about that. And I don't think there's any more crafty things to talk about. I think that's all of that. And yeah. And I watched the Bake Off. I watched the Bake Off, and I did enjoy the 1920s historical era baking theme episode. It was kind of fun. I did like the Victorian and the Tudor episodes from the past series a little better. I'm just generally more interested in those historical periods. I really enjoy Tudor history, and I really enjoy Victorian era, which is why I like Victorian literature. Yay! Yeah, and I actually rewatched both the Tudor and the Victorian episodes this week because they were also available to stream, the past past series. So I watched all of those this week, all the historical baking. Yeah, it was good. Also, it was the week that the last season of The Good Place started. Episode 1 of season 4. And it was a good beginning to the season. I think it's going to be a good, I hope it's going to be a good final season. We'll see. But it started out fine. Just as funny, and I can't wait to see where they take it, because they just this show is a bit unpredictable, and you're not, yeah, it's an unpredictable show, and they might come up with anything. But that's part of the fun of it. So, yeah. And I know I've been watching a bit on YouTube. I've been watching BookTube recommendations for spooky books and thrillers, scary thrillers to read in October, and scary thriller horror book and movie recommendations, because I'm not I don't like all horror, but I do like a good chill, and I like eerie and spooky. I like an atmospheric, like a really good atmospheric, spooky, creepy ghost story. I like, not, anyway. So I've been looking at scary suspense thrillers and some scary book recommendations and scary movie recommendations, scary sci-fi, scary horror movies, for some things I might want to read or watch in October. I know fall is just a fun, I know it's, anyway, it's like, ooh, the temperature comes down and I feel like a little chill, and I feel like I want a little spooky scare. Yeah. So I think that's all. I think that's everything. I hope that you're doing all right. I hope that your family and your loved ones are well, and you are well. I hope all of your creative projects are successful and fun, and that you're enjoying working on them. And see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.